and see what the Power Hour people think, see what kind of conclusions we can get. Like, share, subscribe. Robert Downey Jr. and Hugh Grant. Because they're not terrible people, really. I mean, Robert Downey Jr., he just got involved with drugs. He always had a problem with drugs, even as a young man. And he did a lot of stupid things. Drink driving is one of them. That's bad. You can kill families doing that. So that's a serious thing. But his intention was never to hurt anybody else. He was just stupid and irresponsible. And he took a lot of drugs and did himself a lot of harm, and he went to prison for it. But he was punished, and he came back and has had a tremendously successful career since then. So I applaud the man. And I would have absolutely no problem watching a film with Robert Downey Jr. in it. Same with Hugh Grant. I mean, Hugh Grant got paid to be Hugh Grant for about 20 years. He was just going around in all his films being very posh and a bit confused, you know, and that was it with Hugh Grant. Thanks, Hugh. See you later. And then you can just do the same thing again in the next film. But he went down and got himself a prostitute from some really rough area. And the thing that antagonised me about it was that they were both engaged in a consensual act between adults, right? And she was poor and he was rich. He was fined $1,000, about £700, which he could easily spend on a bottle of wine. And she got 6 months in prison. Why does he get a little fine that he can pay easily and she goes to prison for 6 months? Surely she's got enough problems as it is. But the tide turned on that because she monetised it. She made a lot of money from book deals, etc., about her experience with Hugh Grant, and made millions actually, and maybe ended up with more money than Hugh Grant. I don't know if that's a fact, but I would like to think that is true, because that's a terrible miscarriage of justice. We're going to jump forward a little bit to Kevin Spacey, because I want to show you a video. Kevin Spacey attacked and raped a 14-year-old boy. Kevin Spacey has been accused formally by 30 different men who were young normally at the time of being assaulted or attacked by Kevin Spacey. And when it came out, one of the worst parts is when it came out that he'd assaulted this 14-year-old kid, he said he used it as an opportunity to come out of the closet and say he was gay. This was his response. Well, you know, I'm gay. What the hell has being gay got to do with being a paedophile? What you're saying, Kevin, that there's some kind of connection between paedophilia and homosexuality? Is that what you're saying? You're throwing the entire gay community under the bus because you've been caught doing what you do. That was disgusting. And of course it was treated like that by every right-minded person, and his career completely imploded. And we don't see him anymore, but he was talented. If you watch Seven, he's absolutely brilliant in Seven. And he's even better in The Usual Suspects, which was one of my favourite films. So I don't know, I'll do an experiment. I'll watch The Usual Suspects again and see if my detest, or the way I detest Kevin Spacey affects my enjoyment of the film. And I'll let you know.